Hello students, how are you all? Welcome to Affairscloud, Learn to Lead. My name is Vikas Rana. So students, we have an app by the name Careers Cloud which you can go and download through the Play Store. This application is a one-stop solution for all the students who are preparing for government exams. This application is valid just for the Android users. Once you have downloaded the application, you can go and log in through your Gmail ID, and once you have logged in, you will be moved on to this page where you can see the various courses that are offered by us. To avail this course, you can use a code that is crack10 to get an additional 10% discount on the purchase you make. If we talk about the course, why this course is so important, how you will be benefiting through this course. If you see, we provide current affairs on the daily basis, on weekly basis, as well as monthly basis. On daily basis, we will be providing you with PDFs of the content of that particular day. Apart from this, you will be getting a quiz on your application that will be of 20 questions quiz on daily basis that will help you in boosting your preparation. Apart from that, on weekly, you will be getting a 50 questions quiz for your preparation, as well as if you see, you will also get a PDF that will contain all the important compiled news, current affairs of that particular week. And similarly, for monthly, you will be getting a top 100 questions PDF of that whole month. That is very important PDF and will be covering the most important news of that particular month. Alright, apart from this, we also cover banking awareness. All the banking aspirants, those who are preparing for bank exams, will absolutely love our course because we cover almost 99.99% of the syllabus of your bank exams. Here you will see we will also provide with quizzes as well as the PDFs. Apart from this, if you see the topic wise, for example, there are multiple questions that are related to obituary, important days, who won which event, who was awarded with which award. So all these topics that are related to your GS also or GK, such as apps and web portals, these are the current affairs that are important days, your books and authors, the new applications that were launched, new government schemes that were launched by the government, or your international affairs or your national affairs. All these topics, there are 20 such topics of which we are providing the PDF, as well as we teach on YouTube, where you can go and check our channel and you will be surprised that the content that we are providing is absolutely amazing. Alright, so this will be helping you to boost your preparation in the long term. This YouTube channel, you can go and subscribe to our channel, that is your Affairscloud, that will help you for your revision purpose also. Apart from this, we cover the state current affairs also. Here you can see the current affairs and all these content that we provide you that are bilingual. That means we provide you in English as well as both in Hindi also. Alright, so all the students who are from the Hindi language will also be benefited through our course. In the end, friends, if you use a code that is Vikas10, you will be getting an additional extra 10% discount by using this code Vikas10. Also, if you have any problem regarding the course purchase, any problem regarding to our application, you can contact us on the mobile number that is 9677333862. And if you want to mail us, you can also mail us on support@affairscloud.com, and I assure you that our representative from us will be contacting you soon and resolving your issue. So friends, in this video we will be discussing important current affairs of the topic National Affairs of April month. The session will be very important, so do pay attention till the end. And I'll suggest you all to make notes that will be beneficial for you for the revision. So first we are talking about the state that is producing the most number of vegetables. It is your Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh has replaced West Bengal to become the top state for producing the most number of vegetables. And if we are talking about fruits, remember it is your Andhra Pradesh that is continuing to lead the list of most number of fruits produced in a state. It is of Andhra Pradesh. So two states you need to remember. Uttar Pradesh for the most number of vegetable, that is your top vegetable producer, and Andhra Pradesh as the top fruit producer state in India. Here you can see Uttar Pradesh became the top producer of vegetable, getting back its first position by demoting West Bengal to the second position. And then we are talking about Andhra Pradesh, it remains on the top position for producing most number of fruits in India. Next, Then next we are talking about IMAX. IMAX is your Indian Ocean Naval Symposium Maritime Exercise. I is for Indian Ocean Naval Symposium, M for Maritime, and EX is your exercise. The first edition of this IMAX was recently held at Goa. Question can be asked, this is important. This IMAX exercise was conducted in two phases. The first phase was your harbor phase where this was conducted, that is at Mormugao port, that is in Goa, and the second phase was at the Arabian Sea. So you should remember this. And the full form of IONS, that is your Indian Ocean Naval Symposium. It is a composition of countries of littoral states. What are littoral states? Littoral states are those countries that have coastline. All right. In order to have security cooperation in the Indian Ocean region, this exercise IMEX 2022 was conducted. Next, scope of emergency credit line guarantee scheme, that is ECLGS, was enhanced and its validity was extended till 31st of March 2020. Earlier, this scheme ECLGS was till March 2022, but now it has been extended by 1 year till 31st of March 2023. Alright, highly important, pay attention. It has also increased the total amount of sanctioned under the scheme, that was around 4.5 lakh crore rupees earlier, but now it has been extended till 5 lakh crore rupees. So the National Credit Guarantee Trustee Company Limited has extended the Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme for micro, small and medium enterprises, that is your MSME, for how much period? For 1 year, and now the deadline is 31st of March 2023. Alright. Also, you have to remember that in this, the credit has also been increased from what amount to what amount? That was earlier 4.5 lakh crore rupees to now 5 lakh crore rupees. Next, we are talking about an exercise, that is Varuna. Varuna is a exercise that is a naval exercise. That means it is conducted between the navies of India and France. So question can be asked, Varuna is an exercise that is conducted between which two countries? Between Indian Navy and France Navy, or India and France. This was the 20th edition of this bilateral naval exercise that was conducted by India and France. And where was this conducted? It was conducted in Arabian Sea. What is the location is important? Arabian Sea, and the name is Varuna. So Varuna, where was this conducted? It was conducted at Arabian Sea. It was conducted between India and France. Between the navies of these countries, this exercise was conducted, and this is the 20th edition of this bilateral naval exercise Varuna, that was conducted in the Arabian Sea from 30th of March to 3rd of April. Next is your 19th edition. Then remember, earlier we were talking about the 20th edition of this exercise Varuna. Then you need to also remember that the 19th edition of this India and French naval exercise Varuna was conducted in the Arabian Sea only. So both 20th and 19th, they were conducted in the Arabian Sea. Moving on. Next, we are talking about the 5th edition of the BIMSTEC Summit that was virtually held, and this exercise or this summit, the BIMSTEC 5th edition of this BIMSTEC Summit, was virtually addressed by whom? Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed this 5th edition of BIMSTEC Summit. What is BIMSTEC? BIMSTEC stands for Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. Highly important. Where was this exercise conducted? Colombo, Sri Lanka. This BIMSTEC exercise or BIMSTEC Summit was conducted, and this was the 5th edition of this BIMSTEC Summit that was conducted. Who virtually addressed this? It was virtually addressed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and this is the 5th edition. What is the full form? Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. In Colombo, Sri Lanka, this exercise was this summit was conducted. Who is the current chair of this BIMSTEC? So the current chair of this BIMSTEC is with Sri Lanka, and this is from 2018 till March of 2022. Apart from this, remember 2022 marks the 25th anniversary of the establishment of BIMSTEC. So question can be asked that which anniversary was celebrated recently by BIMSTEC? It was 25th anniversary that was 25th anniversary that was celebrated by BIMSTEC. One more question that you need to remember regarding BIMSTEC and India is that India recently provided $1 million to BIMSTEC to increase its operational budget. This was in news recently. And question can be asked in such a way that how much amount will be provided by India to BIMSTEC to increase the operational budget? It was $1 million. Apart from this, the theme that you need to remember of this 5th BIMSTEC Summit was towards a resilient region. Towards a resilient region, prosperous economies, healthy people. I repeat, towards a resilient region, prosperous economies, healthy people. This was the theme of the 5th edition of the BIMSTEC summit, and this was held in where Colombo, Sri Lanka. As we know that till March 2022, this Sri Lanka is the chairperson or having the chair of BIMSTEC. And when was this summit conducted? It was on 30th of March. Moving on. Next, we are talking about Bharat Dynamics Limited has signed an MOU with Tourism Economic Council of UAE on defense related sectors. That means in order to increase the cooperation between these two countries and in order to increase the defense sector of both the countries, Bharat Dynamics Limited and Tourism Economic Council of United Arab Emirates exchange an MOU to explore new business opportunities in the areas of the mutual interest in the field of defense. Alright, so question can be asked that BDL, that is your Bharat Dynamics Limited, signed an MOU in the field of defense with which organization? With Tourism Economic Council of United Arab Emirates. Next, Mumbai International Cruise Terminal will be commissioned by which year? This is one of the questions that I have been asking you recently, that if asked that Mumbai International Cruise Terminal will be commissioned by which date? It will be commissioned by July 2024. This is the first of its kind Mumbai International Cruise Terminal that is expected to be commissioned by July 2024. It is the Sea Cruise Terminal which will be coming up at the BPX Indra Dock in Maharashtra. Another thing, if you talk about this, it is an built-in area of around 4.15 lakh square feet. This is the first of its kind iconic sea cruise terminal in India. 2 cruise ships will be able to berth at the time on the dock, and this terminal will have 22 elevators, 10 escalators and multi-storied car parking for 300 cars. The project will cost around 495 crore rupees. However, 303 crore will be incurred by the Mumbai Port Authority and the remaining by the private operators. Coming back, when this Mumbai International Cruise Terminal will be commissioned, it will be commissioned by July 2024. Next, remember, foreign trade policy has been extended by how much time period now? So remember, foreign trade policy has been extended by another 6 months. Alright, so question will be direct and simple, that foreign trade policy has been extended by how much time period? By another 6 months. The Ministry of Commerce and Industry extended the foreign trade policy for 2015 to 20, which was valid up to March 31st, 2022, has been extended up to another 6 months. That is, now this date can also be asked, that the foreign trade policy has been extended up to what? Till September 30, 2022. This is extended for boosting the external commerce in goods and services. The extension was issued by the Director General of the Foreign Trade. Alright, who approved this extension? It was approved by Directorate General of Foreign Trade, and it has been extended till 30th of September 2022. Earlier it was till 31st of March 2022, and now it has been extended by 6 months. Next, we are talking about Leh now. A dark sky sanctuary has been opened with a tripartite agreement in Leh. I repeat, Leh to sign a tripartite agreement to develop Hanle as dark sky sanctuary. This Leh administration is set to sign a tripartite agreement to develop Hanle as dark sky sanctuary. The Leh Hill Council, Wildlife and Tourism Department will jointly develop the area for astro tourism. What is astro tourism? Basically for sky, to watch skies, to watch stars at night. Alright, this Leh administration has signed a tripartite agreement to set up what? A dark sky sanctuary. But why in Leh only? Let me give you an example. If you try to watch stars during night in Delhi, you won't be able to see any stars. But if you go to any hilly area or any hill station, let's say for if we are talking about Leh only, you will be able to see thousands of stars in the sky, because the pollution in that area is way too less, be it air pollution, be it light pollution, because light pollution also hinders the sky view. So as we know, in Leh or in any hill station area, the view from the sky is very good. You will be able to see thousands of stars. So in order to achieve that, a dark sky sanctuary has been developed, and this has been developed under the Leh administration that will be signing a tripartite agreement to develop Honle as the dark sky sanctuary. If we talk about this astrotourism, Ladakh's administration is in association with the Indian Institute of Astrophysics that aims to promote astrotourism in the village of Hanle in the Union Territory of Ladakh. The village of Hanle, located at the Hanle River Valley, which will be declared as the Dark Sky Sanctuary, will offer an unequivocal dark sky experience to tourists that will be offering stars. You will be able to observe stars at night there. Next we are talking about India and Australia has signed a economic cooperation and trade pact to boost ties. If you remember earlier, India and Australia also signed a pact to boost tourism in both countries. So now an economic cooperation and trade pact has also been signed between these two countries. What will be the reason? And a name has also been given to it, that is your INDOS ECTA, that is your India Australia Economic Trade and Cooperation and Trade Agreement was signed between the two countries, and the reason is to increase the trade between these two countries. The above agreement will provide a zero duty access to 96% of the India's export to Australia, including shipments from the key sectors such as engineering goods, gems, jewelry, textile, apparel and leather. Similarly, it also provides 85% of the Australian exports zero duty access to the Indian market, including coal, sheep meat, wool, low duty access on Australian wines, almonds, lentils and certain fruits. That means if we are exporting anything to Australia, 96% of the products will have duty free, and around 85% of the Australian export that will be coming from Australia to India will have zero duty access. All right, they won't have to pay any duty on the products then. Moving on. Next news is related to Tata Power arm. Tata Power Renewables has commissioned a 300 megawatt solar power plant in Dholera, Gujarat, that is with the country's largest single axis solar tracker system. So what is the question that can be asked from here? That which is the organization that has set up a single axis solar tracker system in Dholera, Gujarat, that is the country's largest single axis solar tracker system? It is your Tata Power Renewables, and they have set up a 300 megawatt solar power plant to supply solar energy. All right, 300 megawatt power plant where in Dholera, Gujarat, and that is the India's largest single axis solar tracker system, and this has been set up by Tata Power Renewables Energy Limited. So one thing you need to remember, second thing, third thing and fourth thing. So these are the four things that you need to remember from this topic. If we talk about this project will generate around 774 million units of renewable energy annually. Along with this will reduce approximately 7 lakh metric ton of carbon emissions per year. And with the help of this installation, 8 lakh 73,000 numbers of monocrystalline photovoltaic modules will be set up at this location for generating 300 megawatt of solar energy. Moving on. Next, we are talking about Stand Up India has completed how many years? Stand Up India has completed 6 years. On April 5th, 2022, the Stand Up India scheme completed 6 years since launch on 5th of April 2016 by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. But what is this Stand Up India scheme? What is the reason of this scheme? Let's look at it. The Department of Financial Services under the Ministry of Finance launched this Stand Up India scheme to promote entrepreneurship at the grassroots level of the economic empowerment and job creation. So basically, what is this Stand Up India scheme? It was to promote entrepreneurship. It was to promote entrepreneurship at the grassroots level and create jobs for the people. Under this scheme, over 30,160 crore rupees loan has been sanctioned to more than 1,33,000 account holders under 6 years, and this scheme has been extended till 2025. So many questions you need to remember. The startup date, the Stand Up India has completed 6 years. It was established or it was launched on 5th of April 2016, launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This scheme has been extended till 2025. And what is this scheme? This scheme's at creating awareness or to promote entrepreneurship at the grassroots level so that even people can create jobs for other people. If we are talking about the eligibility under this Stand Up India scheme, SC/ST or women entrepreneurs above the age of 18 years of age, loan under the scheme are available only for the greenfield projects. Also remember, these loans will be provided to any individual if they don't have any default to any bank or financial institutions. All right, so this is your stand up scheme that has completed 6 years and that has been extended till the year 2025. Moving on. Next, we are talking about Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh has topped the state with the lowest unemployment rate in the country. So, question can be asked: which state in India is having the lowest unemployment rate in India? It is your Chhattisgarh. So, Chhattisgarh has the lowest unemployment rate. If we look at the data here, the unemployment rate is 0.6%. And if we are talking about the overall unemployment rate in India, it is around 7.6%. That was in March 2022. All right, then if question asked to you which is the state that is having the most number of unemployment or highest unemployment, that is at 26.7%, that is your Haryana. Here you can see the data. Haryana has topped the list with the highest unemployment rate, that is 26.7%, then Rajasthan, then Jammu and Kashmir, then Jharkhand. Another question from this topic that can be asked is: this data related to unemployment rate was released by whom? It was released by Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, that is CMIE. So CMIE, that is Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, has released the data for unemployment in India. It was 7.6% of whole India in March 2022. Then Chhattisgarh has secured the top position with the least or the lowest unemployment rate with 0.6%, and Haryana has topped with the highest unemployment rate with 26.7%. Moving on. Next, we are talking about NTPC has inked a pact with GGL, that is your Gujarat Gas Limited, to blend green hydrogen in piped natural gas. I repeat, NTPC, that is known as the National Thermal Power Corporation Limited, signed an MOU with Gujarat Gas Limited at Quas Gujarat office. The agreement was signed for blending green hydrogen in natural gas, or for blending green hydrogen in piped natural gas. All right, before this, if you remember, similar project was started in Indore, MP by GAIL, Gas Authority of India Limited. GAIL started it, GAIL. It was hydrogen blending with natural gas, and similar largest bio CNG plant. What is the name of the Asia's largest bio CNG plant? What is the name of the Asia's largest bio CNG plant? It is Gobar Dhan. Next news that you need to remember is regarding Nepal. Recently, Nepal will be exporting, or they will be providing India with 364 megawatt of electricity during the rainy seasons. I repeat, India will be procuring, or Nepal will be supplying 364 megawatt of electricity to India during the rainy season. Nepal received a permission to sell 39 megawatt of electricity generated from the Devghat and Trishuli power projects to India in November 2021. It again plans to sell 325 megawatt of electricity to the energy market in India, summing up with a total of 364 of electricity export in 2022 during the rainy season specifically. Question can be asked: India will be importing electricity of 364 megawatt from which country? It is from Nepal. Next is your 7th edition of the Pradhanmantri Mudra Yojna. Recently, India has completed 7 years, that is the 7th anniversary of the Pradhanmantri Mudra Yojna scheme that was launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Mudra stands here for loan. So this is for providing loans up to 10 lakh rupees to the non-corporates, non-farm, small or micro enterprises. Basically, you can take to the small businessman, to MSME sector, to provide loan to those people who are starting their own businesses. This Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojna was started, and this has completed 7 years now. That means, when was this started? When was your Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojna was started? In which year? It was in the year 2015 that this scheme was started, and it's central government scheme to fund the unfunded. Who are the unfunded? As I told you, who are the small business people? They do not have fund. All right, even the bank is not providing them with the right amount of loan with right interest. So central government started this scheme to fund the unfunded. Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojna stands for social justice in action and embodies the true spirit of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. The loans that are provided under this scheme are classified as Mudra, that is Micro Units Development and Refinance Agency Limited loans. These loans are given by commercial banks, RRBs, small finance banks, MFIs. Next, Next is IFSCA has signed an MOU with GVFL Limited to strengthen the Fintech ecosystem in the GIFT IFSC. Where is this GIFT IFSC? This is in Gujarat. So remember, the International Financial Service Centers Authority, this is also in Gujarat, and GVFL, that is Gujarat Venture Finance Limited, have signed an MOU to provide cooperation and collaboration to increase the research and development in the fintech's ecosystem. Fintech stands for finance and technology. This stands for fintech. So what is the reason of this MOU between these two organizations? To strengthen the fintech ecosystem, that is your finance technology ecosystem in the Gujarat International Finance Tech City. This MOU was signed between International Financial Service Centers Authority and Gujarat Venture Finance Limited. If we talk about Gujarat Venture Finance Limited, it was promoted by World Bank and the government of Gujarat. It is a pioneer of venture capital in India, and the purpose is to support the venture capital ecosystem in the multiple sectors. Mihir Joshi is the president and the headquarters is in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Alright, so coming back, whose IFSCA signed an MOU with which organization to strengthen the fintech ecosystem in the GIFT IFSC? It is your GVFL, that is your Gujarat Venture Financial Limited. Moving on. Next, we are talking about Sarhul Festival. Sarhul Festival is celebrated in which state? It is celebrated in Jharkhand. Mark this. This Sarhul Festival signifies the beginning of the new year that is celebrated in the state of Jharkhand on 4th of April 2022. This is a 3-day festival which begins on the 3rd day of the Chaitra, that is the first month of the Hindu calendar. Alright, so Sarhul, it is celebrated in which state? In Jharkhand. Next, this Sarhul festival is a tribal festival which is celebrated by Oran, the Munda and the Ho tribes of the Jharkhand region. So remember Munda, this can be also beneficial for you in the GS part. Alright, so Oran, the Munda tribe and the Ho tribe, they are related, they celebrate Sarhul festival and they are in Jharkhand. What is the meaning of Sarhul? That stands for worship of the Sal tree. This was Sarhul. Now let's move to Gangaur festival. Gangaur festival is celebrated in which state? It is celebrated in Rajasthan. Next is then Agra. Agra will get India's first, or you can remember it such a way that Agra is the first city in India that will be getting a vacuum based sewer system on trial basis. So which is the first city in India that will be getting a vacuum based sewer system on pilot basis? That is your Agra. Next is Dudhwani. The India's first dairy community radio was launched by whom? It was launched by Narendra Modi. And what is the name of this India's first dairy community radio? It is Dudhwani. This will be helping all the dairy related farmers and the persons who are related to this field to provide them with multiple solutions of the problems and also help them with the like which instrument you should use, which type of medicines you should use for your cattle, how to increase the product or how to increase the milk capacity of a particular cow. So all these things, how to take care of them, what should you provide them in their diet, all these information, all the information related to the dairy sector will be provided of this dairy community radio that was named as Dudhwani and it was launched by Narendra Modi ji. Next is which is India's first district with library in every village. So Jamtara is of Jharkhand. Jamtara is the first district in India that has library in every village. And where is Jamtara? Jamtara is in Jharkhand. Alright, the district has a total population of around 8 lakh. That has a total of 118 gram panchayat under 6 blocks and each panchayat has a well equipped library which is open for students between 9 to 5. Alright, career counseling sessions, motivational classes are also held at these libraries, that is without cost, that these are free, that helps the student to be guided at the right path. So which is the first district in India that has library in each and every village? It is your Jamtara district of Jharkhand. Next is we are talking about World Congress of Accounts. Remember, India will be hosting this World Congress of Accounts for the first time in 118 years. Who will be hosting this? It will be hosted by ICAI, that is your Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, is set to host the 21st edition of the World Congress of Accounts for the first time in 118 years. The reason is this Congress is held every 4 years. Alright, this event will be held in November 18th, 2022 to 21st of November 2022 in India, where this will be held at the Geo World Convention Center that is in Mumbai, Maharashtra, that was built by Reliance Industries Limited. Alright, and what is the theme? The theme is Building Trust, Enabling Sustainability. Who will be organizing it? It will be hosted by ICI. What is it? It is World Congress of Account. India will be hosting it for the first time. That is the 21st edition of the World Congress of Account. And after 118 years, this will be hosted. Who is the president of ICI? Debashish Mitra. Alright, and when was the first edition of this was held in? It was held in 1904. Next, remember, under Ayushman Bharat Pradhanmantri Jan Arogya Yojna Sehat scheme, which is the first district in India that has covered 100% households. So remember, Samba district of Union Territory Jammu and Kashmir, Samba district became the first district in India that has covered 100% households under Ayushman Bharat Pradhanmantri Jan Arogya Yojna Sehat scheme. And Sehat here stands for Social Endeavor for Health and Telemedicine Scheme. Next, remember Hindustan Aeronautics Limited and Bharat Electricals Limited. They are co-developing a IRST system for Sukhoi Mk1, that is Sukhoi 30 Mark 1 aircraft. They are developing an IRST system. And who are they? Hindustan Aeronautics Limited and Bharat Electricals Limited. Next is your Amrit Sarovar. India's first Amrit Sarovar completed in UP's Rampur. What is Amrit Sarovar? Under this Amrit Sarovar scheme, 75 water bodies will be developed and rejuvenated in each district as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. I repeat, under this Amrit Sarovar, 75 water bodies will be developed and rejuvenated in each district as a part of Amrit Mahotsav. So coming back, what can be the question that where was the India's first Amrit Sarovar completed? It was completed in the UP's Rampur. In which state? In Uttar Pradesh. And 75 water bodies will be developed and rejuvenated under this project. Next is India's first portable solar rooftop system was unveiled where? It was at Gandhinagar, Gujarat. Next is BRO. We are talking about Border Road Organization. BRO has recently constructed the world's highest tunnel at Shinkula Pass. This world's highest tunnel will be connecting Himachal Pradesh to Ladakh, that is between Zanskar Valley in Ladakh and Lahaul Valley in Himachal and Pradesh. And this has been developed by whom? BRO, that is your Border Road Organization. Next is IIT Delhi has tied up with POSOCO to conduct research on India's power sector. Question can be direct and simple. To conduct research on India's power sector, IIT Delhi has tied up with which organization, or POSOCO has tied up with which organization? It is IIT Delhi and POSOCO that has tied up to do research on power sector of India. Next, Indian Air Force Navy has tied up with DRDO to acquire SHAF to shield warships fighter aircraft. But what is SHAF? SHAF, let's about SHAF. SHAF is a passive expendable electronic countermeasure technology that is used worldwide to protect naval ships and fighter aircraft from the enemy's radar and radio frequency missiles. Also remember, India will become now the second country in the world that will have this SHAF technology after United States of America. So Indian Air Force and Indian Navy has partnered with DRDO to use SHAF technology in the Indian Air Force aircraft and Indian naval ships in order to protect from enemy radar guided missiles during the hostile situations. Alright, next is your NET POLREX. What is NET POLREX? We did in the last video. NET stands for National, POL stands for Pollution, R for response, and EX is for exercise. For NET POLREX means this was a national level pollution response exercise that was recently inaugurated by Ajay Kumar, who is the Union Defence Secretary, and this is the 8th edition of the 2-day long exercise, National Level Pollution Response Exercise. That is 8th edition, that is NET POLREX 8th. What pollution this will be targeting? It will be targeting the sea pollution, marine spills. We know if a ship is taking oil containers in the ocean and it gets submerged into the ocean or sea, then the oil is spilled on the surface of the ocean. That is very hazardous to all the species of animals living in the ocean. So in order to avoid that, and in order to clean that situation, in order to be prepared for such marine spills, this NET Polrex 8 was launched. That is the National Level Pollution Response Exercise. 8th edition of it. This was launched by Ajay Kumar. Who inaugurated it? It was inaugurated by Ajay Kumar. So friends, that's the end of our session. I hope you have gained some interesting information today, and this information will be very helpful for you in the upcoming exams. So do like the video, subscribe, and also share the link of this video with your friends. And if you want us to continue with such sessions, all you have to do is comment below. The value of your comment is very much. Thank you. In the end, friends, if you use a code that is Vikas10, you will be getting an additional extra 10% discount by using this code Vikas10. Also, if you have any problem regarding the course purchase, any problem regarding to our application, you can contact us on the mobile number that is 9677333862. And if you want to mail us, you can also mail us on support@affairscloud.com, and I assure you that our representative from us will be contacting you soon and resolving your issue.